Hey YouTube, we back with another video. 5-minute cut for those who don't know. I'm gonna need y'all to like, I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe. I also need y'all to comment. But today we're gonna be talking about 5 financial habits that you can do to better your finances or to improve your way of living. You know, so today I'm gonna be getting into that. I'm gonna be sharing my tips so I can help y'all. And if y'all have anything y'all want to say or any thing y'all want to add on to what I said, just drop a comment down, you know, engage with the video. But today we're gonna be talking about that, and let's get right into it. All right, y'all, so the first financial habit that y'all want to implement or that y'all want to add will definitely be saving. You know what I mean? It's I know it's a little like simple, like, you know, everybody say saving money, but I feel like saving is very important because I feel like we overlook the amount that we saving. Like, even if it's $1, even if it's like 50 cents, say it's $10, whatever, I feel like you need to save 1/10 of your money always. You know what I mean? You should always have an emergency fund, and you should always have something you can fall back on in case of, you know, bad things are gonna happen the older you get, you know. So like, let's say you're 18 and you're in high school still, right? Obviously your expenses and your bills are probably gonna be like low and not as high, so you're gonna have like more money to do with. But as you get older, you know, bills are gonna start increasing and you're just gonna start going through more stuff. And since you're an adult now, you're not really gonna have anyone to help you. So you're gonna wanna have that emergency fund for the unexpected things, like say your car crashes, say you get in some legal trouble, you might need a lawyer, or say, you know, a lot of stuff can happen, you know, some stuff going on with the family. You can have some medical bills, you know, you never know, student debt. It's a lot. So I feel like saving is very important, but not so much saving, but building the habit of saving. Like, you want to save to a point where it becomes like normal, you know what I mean? So if it's hard for you to save now, I would say start off saving like $1 a day, or save like $1 every 2 days, or save $10 every week. It might seem small, but you really just want to build that habit. So once you got that habit of like saving $10 a week, then you can start saving like $100 and so forth on. But you really just want to start off small. It's not about starting big. You just really want to take action and start now. That's like the biggest thing. Start now and start small. You feel me? It don't have to be the biggest amount. It don't have to be like the most money. You know, we all make different money. You feel me? Make what you make, and that's okay. It's not really about, don't focus too much on like the money you making, you know. We're gonna get to that, okay? So save your money. Save for emergency fund, have a contingency plan in case shit go left, you know what I mean? So that's the first step. Number 2 is going to be finding a second income, okay? You know, we live in 2026. I could say for myself, I feel like life changed, especially like for the Gen Z. Like, we're in a different stage of life, you feel me? Working one job or having like one career, that's not the wave anymore. You need a second income, you feel me? The cost of living is just too high for you to only have a job. And you know, you're paying like your rent, you got groceries, you got you know, clothes, you got a lot of stuff. You got phone bill, insurance, life insurance. Like, it's just a lot of stuff you got to pay for, as I was saying in the last step, the older you get. So you want to be like careful of that, you know what I mean? Because like, the job can only take you like so far, you know what I mean? Like, you get like 20 an hour, maybe less, like 2,000 a month, maybe 3,000 a month. That's not too much money when you got all these bills you have to pay for. You know, you got rent, you got insurance, you got groceries, you might have a kid, you never know. So that's why I'm saying this second income, that needs to be like your main focus when you get outside of work. Like, after the 9 to 5, that 5 to 9. I don't know if y'all hear it a lot, but I be hearing it a lot. That 5 to 9 is very important, because with this second income, it's gonna take well, you're gonna have a breather, and it's gonna take weight off your chest. You know what I mean? It's gonna be easier for you to move through life and pay for what you need to pay for, the more incomes you have. And with the adding another income, you don't want to add like a bunch of other incomes. I would say focus on adding one extra income, and just focus on that until you can make good money from that. Once you make like a good, steady, consistent amount of money from that one income, then you can move on to the next one. You don't want to be just hopping on to different stuff and you're not fully good at the first thing you started, you know what I mean? So you also want to keep that in mind. But yeah, having that second income is very, 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 very important. I feel like that first job, that should really go to bills, and that second income, that's when you can start paying for like clothes. You can start going on trips. You can get that dream car you want, or you can even like just hang out with friends. But to do that off one paycheck is just, it's not smart, and it's very hard to do, especially right now in 2026. So that's the second step. All right, y'all, number 3 is definitely going to be tracking just tracking in general, tracking your savings, tracking your earnings, tracking what you're spending your money on. Tracking everything is very important, because if you don't know where your money's going, you don't know where your money's going. You know what I mean? It just take a couple of small purchases, and before you know it, that shit just get to adding up, and before you know it, you spent all this money and you didn't have no idea of it because you're not tracking it. So you want to track your money. That's very important. Track how much you're spending every day. Track how much you're earning every day. You want to track how much you're saving every week, every month, every year. When I say track, you need to be on top of things. You need to make tracking a habit, okay? So if you spend something, you know, you're tracking that. If you just made some money, you're tracking that. And track where your money's going into these different accounts. You need to go into your notes app or get a pen, get some paper, you feel me? And you need to organize your finances and what you're spending your money on each month, your bills, all your financials, and you need to categorize them and make your shit neat. Stay clean, you know what I mean? Have your shit tidy. Know when you're going to spend your money. Know when you have to pay your next bill. And that's going to be like just very important. And for the tracking, to get started, the first thing I would do, I would just try to track my first week of just spending money. Just see what you want to spend your money on. Just track that first week. And after the first week, track what your how much money you made. All right, cool. You can build that habit. Now track it for the whole month. You feel me? And just really look at what you're spending your money on. And when you start doing that, the more consistently you start doing that, you start realizing like, do I really want to spend my money on this? Or you just start to like stop doing that because you realize you can put your money in other places. And it's just smarter when you categorize all your finances and you can really see what you're spending your money on, you know? Because then you can like, oh, all right, I spent too much money here on groceries. I can maybe move that towards my savings or maybe towards my investments. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. You want to track your money, and that's very important. So yeah. All right, y'all. So number 4 is going to be automating your accounts. So for your bank account or any account that you have, it should be a setting where you can automate your savings and you can transfer money into whatever account you want. And for me, like you could start off like, say every 2 weeks you want to just transfer $10 into your high yield savings account. I would do that so I don't have to like manually do it. Like it just happens without me knowing. And like a big rule is always pay yourself first. You know what I mean? Even if you got bills or like something you have to pay, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Just forget about it and pay yourself first. I feel like that's very important because when you don't pay yourself first, you just start to pay everything else first and then you don't have no money left. So when you pay yourself first, you save, you automate your savings, you don't really have to worry about it because you know right when you get that paycheck, that $50 is going straight into your savings without you even having to think about it. And that just helps you save more money over time because, like I said, you're not really thinking about it and it's automatically going in there. So that's a good step. That's number 4. All right, number 5 is definitely gonna be my most favorite. It's definitely like taking risks, especially like, you know what? Forget what age you are. I feel like you only live once and you gotta live in the moment. You feel me? Tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So live in today. You gotta take risks today. Like I know you got kids and you might have bills and you might have all these responsibilities, but starting today is definitely going to be easier than starting tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because like the more days pass, the more like you're older, you're getting older, you're having more responsibilities. You might have kids down the line, your bills are getting higher. You know what I mean? So if you start now, it's definitely going to be a lot easier than starting in like 3 more months or starting in 6 more months because you're just going to be a lot further than what you would be. And you know what I mean? Like I said, you got to take those risks. Like scared money don't make no money. You feel me? You gotta put that money out there. You gotta invest into yourself. Don't be scared to invest a large sum of money into yourself because it's all about the experience. It's all about learning. You know, that's the whole process. So don't never be scared to invest money into yourself or invest money into something you want to do. Taking risks is very important, especially the younger you are. Like if you're in your 20s, or you're still in high school, or if you just got out of high school, if you're in college, now is the time to take risks, because you don't have kids, or you just don't have as many responsibilities, and you're young, so you just have like more time to like learn from your mistakes. So start now, bro. Take the risks. You know, do challenging things, do things that are hard, that's gonna push you to grow. And like I always say, through pain you grow. Without pain you don't grow without pain. You got to go through stuff in order to become something. You know what I mean? So take risks. Don't be scared. Put yourself out there. We only get one chance. Live in the moment. Okay? So that's gonna be the sum up of the video. I gave y'all 5 financial tips. I want y'all to like the video. I want y'all to subscribe, and I also want y'all to comment. You feel me? Tell me what y'all think, and we're gonna be back with another video. It's 5 in the cut, and I'm out.